back to my channel. My name is Khadijat Adeshola, and in my channel I talk about everything related to women and midwifery. So today I want to talk about NHS maternity pay. It's really NHS maternity leave and maternity pay. It's really an interesting discussion, really. And if this looks like what you are interested in, kindly stick around, watch this video till the end, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you have subscribed to my channel before, that's like you're my returning subscriber. Thank you so much, and I really do appreciate your support. And please, when you watch this video, please kindly comment, like, and engage on this video, so YouTube will recommend my video for people looking for this type of information. Now, a quick one. I want to tell you that everything I'm going to say on this video is, it's from the NHS Terms and Condition of Service Handbook. So it's something you can get yourself. So just go to your search engine, whether you're Google or Chrome or anyone, just type NHS Terms and Condition of Service Handbook, and you will see it everything in there. And is regarding the maternity leave, maternity pay, all of that is at the section 15 of the handbook. However, you can also check with your trust. So you can go to the HR department of your trust and tell them that you need the maternity package. It doesn't mean it's not necessary until you get pregnant before you get the maternity package from them. You can request to have it so you can have a knowledge about what you'll be entitled to when you get pregnant. So let's start. Please subscribe to my channel and stay around. Watch this video till the end. So I'll be looking at the books here because it's a printout, so I can be able to, so I'll be rest assured I'm actually saying the right thing. So there are basically a lot of leave you can get from the from the NHS. You can get maternity leave, paternity leave, adoption leave, shared parental leave, compassionate leave, annual leave, sickness leave. There are really lot of leave you can have under the NHS. However, I am only talking about the maternity leave in this video. And this maternity leave, I will be talking about the leave entitlement and the pay entitlement as well. So for you as as an employee, the first thing is when we talk about the maternity leave. Now let me talk about the maternity leave first, then I'll talk about the maternity pay afterwards. Please listen carefully, and if you get any misconception, like if you need more clarification, please go to your HR to request for the maternity package in your trust, or you go to the NHS website, your Google, search for the NHS Terms and Condition of Service Handbook, and go to section 15 of it. You will see the information in there. So now the maternity leave, regardless of whenever you enter the country, regardless of whether you started working yesterday or you just entered the country today, or you started working 2 days ago or 3 days ago, you are entitled to up to 52 weeks of maternity leave. Yes, you are entitled to up to 52 weeks maternity leave. Now, out of this maternity leave, 2 weeks is compulsory. Yeah, so when you have your baby, you must have at least 2 weeks leave. So 2 weeks is compulsory, and you have a 26 weeks ordinary maternity leave, and you have another 26 weeks additional maternity leave. However, how long maternity leave you want to take depends on you. The 2 weeks is compulsory. After that 2 weeks, you can decide to have just 3 months, which is you can decide to have just 3 months. You can decide to have 6 months. You can decide to have 9 months. You can decide to have the whole 52 weeks, which is a year. So that is your entitlement. And the leave entitlement does not have anything to do with when you basically start working. Now, the next one is maternity pay. Now, so I'm going to be talking about the maternity pay now. So the maternity pay is the one that depends on the the day, or it depends on when you start working with that particular trust. So the first thing is, when you confirm that you're pregnant, you want to be sure whether you're going back to that trust or not. So when you talk about the pay entitlement, it has to do with whether you're going back to that trust or not. So that's the first question. So when you now confirm that you're going back to work with your trust, then the next thing we check is that how long have you been working with this trust? So now, how they calculate this one is, by the time your baby is due, you must have worked 1 year plus 11 weeks with the trust. By the week your baby is due, you must have been 1 year plus 11 weeks with the trust, plus 11 weeks with the trust. This means that you must have stayed for at least for about 6 months with the trust before you get pregnant. So if you work 6 months with a trust before you get pregnant, by the time your baby will be due, you will be about 1 year plus 3 months, 1 year plus 11 weeks with the trust. So if that is applicable to you, if you spend that much with the trust, then you are with the NHS, you are entitled to the NHS pay. Yes. Now, if you've not worked that much with that particular trust, but you've worked with the NHS for that time, then you are entitled to the NHS pay. Now, how much you get depends on the trust now that you're working with. If you work that long with the trust, then you're entitled to occupational maternity pay. This occupational maternity pay include 8 weeks of full pay, including the statutory maternity pay, 18 weeks of half pay plus the statutory maternity pay, and 13 weeks of statutory maternity pay only, and 13 weeks unpaid weeks leave. So basically, this means that you'll be getting a particular amount of money for a full 9 months. However, the last 3 months will be unpaid. So the first 2 weeks, which is the first 2 months, you collect your full salary as if you're still working, kind of. Then the next 18 weeks that follow, I think 18 weeks should be about how many? 18 divided by 4 is about how many? About 4 months plus. You'll be having half pay. And 13 weeks, you'll be having statutory maternity pay only. So statutory maternity pay only for 13 weeks. So what some people do is that they speak with their HR to divide the money so that equally, so that the whole 9 months they are getting the same amount of money for the whole 9 months. So this is for you if you worked with a trust, with the qualifying trust for 1 year plus 11 weeks at the week your baby is due. So meaning you must have been at least 6 months with a trust before getting pregnant, because your pregnancy is meant to be 9 months. So 9 plus 6, that will make you to be like 15 months, which is really what they are looking at for you to be entitled to the particular occupational maternity pay. So now, but if that did not happen, if you've not worked up to a year plus 11, if you've not worked to a year and 11 months by the week your baby is due, but you work continuously, you work 26-week continuous service with the trust at the qualifying week, You understand? It means that, like, if you worked about 26 weeks, if you can't, from your due date, if you can't 15 weeks from your due day, or your expected week of delivery, then you must have been about 26 weeks, at least 26 weeks with that trust. Then you are entitled to statutory maternity pay. So 26 weeks continuous service with the trust at the qualifying week. This is just saying that by the time you're, about 15 weeks from when your baby is due, you already work with the trust for 26 weeks. So if that happens, then you are entitled to the statutory maternity pay, not the occupational maternity pay. So the statutory maternity pay is the SMP, and this particular pay is, you will get 6 weeks at the you will get maternity leave including 39 weeks SMP. So 39 weeks is about 9 months, I get. So you get maternity leave including 39 weeks of SMP. So the SMP is the statutory maternity pay. And the way it is calculated is that you will get 6 weeks at higher rate, which is about 90% of your pay. For instance, if normally you earn 2,000 with the trust, so for the first 6 weeks you will get about 1,900. So for 1 month and a half, I don't know how they will calculate that, right? You get like 1,900, which is 90%. And for the remaining 33 weeks, you will get it at a lower rate. That's what it is. So basically, it's not that you will not get paid, you will be getting paid, but it's not going to be as much as when you are, entitled to the occupational maternity pay. And with this as well, you will have 13 weeks of unpaid leave. So basically, they're going to pay you for 9 months out of the 1 year, and you will not get paid for 13 weeks, which is the last 3 months. And it's the same thing as to when you are entitled to the full maternity pay as well. Now, if by the time you do 15 weeks to when you're due, you haven't worked up to 26 weeks with your trust, then you will not be entitled to any payments from that trust. But however, you can get the statutory maternity pay from the job center. So that is when you will be asked to contact the job center with the government, which they will, and that is when it is called maternity allowance. So you can call them. I think you have to submit lots of documents and all of that. It's more or less the same thing, really, but the difference will be that a little bit higher for the first 1 or 2 months, and also the you will have to do your paperwork yourself. Whereas if you are entitled, the trust HR department will do the paperwork for you. However, if you have decided that you're not coming back to the trust, and you've worked 26 weeks with the trust as well, then you can also still contact the job center, and that's the government. They can still pay you the maternity allowance when you just make your situation known to them. So this means that if you're working with your trust and you're getting paid maternity pay, then you must be able to return back to that trust to work at least 3 months for the trust. Otherwise, you will be made to pay back your maternity, the money they paid you during the maternity leave. If you've worked with a trust for more than a year and 11 months by the time your baby is due, so you will have occupational maternity pay, which is 8 weeks of full pay, 18 weeks of half pay minus the SMP. So I think that's just a glance of the maternity leave and maternity pay. So it's you already know that regardless of when you start working with the trust, you are entitled to 1 year maternity you're entitled to 1 year maternity leave, and you must have at least 2 weeks leave at the pay at the birth of your child. I need to explain that for the 18 weeks, if you're entitled to the occupational maternity pay, for the 18 weeks that you get half pay plus the SMP, the whole combination must not be, will not exceed your normal, pay. So it means that it should not exceed your normal pay. It means that you will still be getting like the amount you really get for your salary, as if you're working for about 9 months. You'll be getting paid as if you're working for about 9 months. But if you're not entitled to the occupational maternity pay, then you'll be getting like just the SMP for for the whole period of maternity. The 52 weeks maternity leave period is applicable to you. Even if you have an adoption, you can also have 52 weeks, and but paternity leave is just 2 weeks. Give a simple explanation of the of the maternity leave. So another thing you need to do is that when you get pregnant, it's not compulsory you declare your pregnancy as early, maybe very early if you're not happy with that, but you must tell your line manager at least from 25 weeks or so when you're pregnant, and you must get your Mat B1 from the community midwife or the GP. So you submit it to your line manager, they fill it up, and you get it across to the HR department. So they're going to calculate your money and tell you how much you'll be entitled to, or how much you will not be entitled, or if you'll not be entitled to any payment regarding the maternity. However, make sure, I'm stressing this, make sure you check with your HR department regarding the maternity, details from your trust, and also check on the NHS, terms and conditions of service handbook to know exactly what you are entitled to. It's really it's worth it if you can wait for you to be entitled to payment before you get pregnant when you newly move to the country. However, if it happens, it happens, because I'm sure you don't really want to trend through the stress of infertility and all of that. So if you really know yourself that you're not that, you know now. So please try as much as possible to to trend, God will help us. That make it easy for each and every one of us. So I really hope this video has helped, and I hope you share it to everyone, especially everyone that newly migrated to the country, so you get to be aware of what you are entitled to, what you can have, and how you can prepare yourself ready. So the point is, there's no way you will not be entitled to anything, so even if it's 500 monthly. But of course, you want to try as much as possible to wait until when you can get at least your full pay. At least your full pay for 9 months while you are at home. You don't want to add financial stress to the stress of being a mom, a new mom. You don't want to add financial stress, especially when your partner hasn't gotten a very good job yet. But if your partner is working a good job, then you might really not want to worry about it. But then we are women and we still need money. You'll be worried about not saving. You might want to do 1 or 2 things for yourself or your family, depending on your situation. So you should try as much as possible to think about it. And what you don't want to do is, if you can, not come with a pregnancy. But if you cannot, yes, you can still come. Is a step ahead, and it's a step away from poverty, really, regarding compared to where we're really coming from. So there I have interview some people on this channel who have talked about their journey. They came in with pregnancy and they are doing fine. Yes, your baby will be fine eventually. Everything will be all right. But if you can, this is just for you. Like, if you can now, you always have another child, especially if you're newly married. I don't know whether you just want to have 1 child, but if you want to have like 2 child, definitely you'll be entitled in your next baby, and make sure you're still working with that trust. Otherwise, the same policy will apply to you. Even if you've been in the UK, but you nearly changed your trust and you got pregnant, you went there when you're already about 26 weeks pregnant, you will not still be entitled to their pay on that trust, but you will still get the SMP from the government. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I really do appreciate it. I wish to see you in my next video. Thank you so much. But oh, another thing, please, I'm doing a migrant mom series. If you're a mom in diaspora and you'd like to share you're a mom in diaspora and you'd like to share with us how you're coping with the challenges that come with being in a new country, working or not working, and taking care of a child, please send me an email at aminukadi@gmail.com, and we can work around your schedule to decide when we can have a chat. Thank you so much. See you all in my Bye.